Is that a gang sign? Have you,
Oh, like you don't know what it is. It is the secret symbol of the Illuminati, and you're a part of it, and it is the all-mocking tongue.
Oh.
And I'm sick of it. I want everybody to be in on the joke, man. You know what I mean? Like, for years now, talk show hosts, people on television, people in sitcoms have been hired by the government to throw you off the track, to distract you, to make you laugh and stuff like that, make you happy and docile so you don't know what's really going on.
Dr. Fauci said that if hospitals get any more overcrowded, they're going to have to make some very tough choices about who gets an ICU bed. That choice doesn't seem so tough to me. Vaccinated person having a heart attack? Yes, come right on in. We'll take care of you. Unvaccinated guy who gobbled horse goo? Rest in peace, Wheezy.
Jim Carrey walks onto Jimmy Kimmel Live, and instead of giving us a goofy grin or a Dumb and Dumber gag, he flashes what he calls the all-mocking tongue. The crowd laughs nervously, the kind of laugh you give when you're not sure if you should clap or call security. And Kimmel, his face shifts from "we're having fun" to "oh god, did this man just expose my whole business model?" Carrey wasn't joking. He was peeling back the curtain. Late night isn't about laughs anymore. It's about distraction. And Carrey had the audacity to say it out loud.
Is that a gang sign? Have you,
Oh, like you don't know what it is. You don't know what that is.
I have no idea.
You don't know. Jimmy Fallon doesn't know. David Letterman doesn't know.
We don't know.
All the comics and show business don't know what this is. Right?
Let's be honest, Jim Carrey didn't walk onto that stage to entertain. He walked on like a whistleblower disguised as a clown. The man basically looked America in the eye and said, "Your favorite late night hosts." Yeah, they're not comedians. They're glorified babysitters hired to keep you laughing while the house burns down. And the audience? They laugh nervously, because that's what you do when you're not sure if it's comedy or a classified briefing. People treat Carrey's words like improv, when in reality, he's indicting the entire entertainment industrial complex, all while still wearing a grin. That's the candy coating. Think about it. You sit down after work, crack open a drink, turn on late night TV, and what do you get? Not perspective, not solutions, just monologues spoon-feeding you the same tired ideology, wrapped in punchlines. And you go to bed thinking you're informed. No, you're not informed. You've been sedated. Carrey called it out. Hollywood isn't an escape. It's a cage with neon lights. Late night isn't a comedy club anymore. It's anesthesia in a three-piece suit. Rome had bread and circuses. We've got hashtags and Jimmy Kimmel.
The symbol of the all-mocking tongue. And I'm sick of it. I want everybody to be in on the joke, man. You know what I mean? Like, for years now, talk show hosts, people on television, people in sitcoms have been hired by the government to throw you off the track, to distract you, to make you laugh and stuff like that, make you happy and docile so you don't know what's really going on. You know, when they get out there in the woods in a circle naked and they decide these things and, you know, and you know, look at him trying to cover it up. It's hilarious, hilarious.
Now, let's talk about the evolution of Jim Carrey. Once upon a time, this was the guy who turned talking out of your backside into box office gold. He was Hollywood's rubber-faced jester, chasing fame like it was oxygen. Red carpets, flashing cameras, million-dollar paychecks. He had it all. And then, he flipped the script. Suddenly, Jim Carrey isn't chasing the spotlight. He's running from it. He's painting moody portraits, talking about philosophy, meditating like a monk who accidentally wandered out of a comedy club. And then he drops that line, "I wish everyone could get rich and famous," so they'd realize it's not the answer. Translation, he lived the dream, and it turned out to be a nightmare with better lighting. Here's the irony. While Carrey is out here telling people to wake up from the fame machine, guys like Kimmel are still working overtime to keep the treadmill running. Carrey evolved from Ace Ventura to Accidental Prophet, while Kimmel is stuck recycling Trump punchlines like they're leftovers from 2016. It's almost poetic. The clown grew up, but the serious host stayed the clown. Let's get something straight. Jimmy Kimmel isn't just a comedian anymore. He's a brand, a franchise, a smiling face stitched onto the corporate quilt of late night television. The man's job description might as well read, "Deliver jokes approved by the Board of Acceptable Opinions." Must clap back at Trump. Must never question the script. Remember his COVID monologues? He went on national TV mocking unvaccinated Americans with a smug grin and lines like "Rest in peace, Wheezy." Ah yes, comedy at its finest, laughing at the sick and dying. Real edgy Jimmy. Carlin must be rolling in his grave. And then there were his cheap shots at Trump. Not policy critiques, not wit, just flat out fantasies about the guy's death. And what happened? Did the media call him out? Did his sponsors drop him? Nope. The audience cheered like trained seals, and the network gave him a pat on the back. Because when you're parroting the approved narrative, you're bulletproof. That's the trick. Kimmel isn't dangerous. He's safe. He doesn't challenge power. He flatters it. He's not there to punch up. He's there to punch whoever the script says is today's villain. And for that obedience, he gets applause, protection, and a shiny Hollywood paycheck. Jim Carrey's gesture on that stage wasn't just calling out Kimmel the man. It was calling out Kimmel the mascot, the corporate puppet dangling in front of millions every night, keeping the circus alive.
Dr. Fauci said that if hospitals get any more overcrowded, they're going to have to make some very tough choices about who gets an ICU bed. That choice doesn't seem so tough to me. Vaccinated person having a heart attack? Yes, come right on in. We'll take care of you. Unvaccinated guy who gobbled horse goo? Rest in peace, Wheezy. The poison control centers have seen this spike in calls from people taking this livestock medicine to fight the coronavirus, but they won't take the vaccine, which is crazy. It's like if you're a vegan and you're just like, no, I don't want a hamburger. Give me that can of Alpo instead.
Here's the ugly truth. Late night TV has gone from roasting power to reading press releases. It's not comedy, it's programming. Literally, you don't tune in to laugh. You tune in to get your nightly sermon on what you're allowed to believe, sprinkled with a few punchlines so it doesn't feel like homework. Back in the day, Johnny Carson united America. He cracked jokes that farmers in Iowa and lawyers in New York could both laugh at. That's comedy. Now it's Jimmy Kimmel sneering through a teleprompter about how half the country are idiots. That's not comedy, that's indoctrination with a drum rim shot. And here's the kicker, they call it satire. No, satire punches up. Satire mocks the kings, the CEOs, the corrupt politicians. What late night does today is punch down, mocking average Americans, mocking faith, mocking tradition, because that's safe, because that's what the machine rewards. Jim Carrey wasn't trolling when he made that gesture. He was saying, look, you're being played. And he's right. Bread and Circuses, 2025 edition. Shut up, laugh at the Orange Man, and don't ask questions about the empire collapsing around you. This isn't entertainment. This is how you keep a free people distracted until they forget they're supposed to be free. Now here's where it gets real. Jim Carrey's transformation wasn't some artsy midlife crisis. It was born from staring death in the face. Remember Hawaii 2018? Phones buzzed with that infamous alert. Ballistic missile inbound. This is not a drill. But for 38 minutes, people thought the world was ending. Carrey was there. He thought he had minutes left to live. And his response, not panic, not screaming, not another Hollywood "we're all gonna die" tweet. Number. He felt gratitude. He reflected. He realized all the glitz, all the fame, all the red carpets and punchlines. None of it matters when you think a nuclear warhead is on the way. And let's add this. In 2015, he lost his girlfriend in a tragedy that crushed him. That kind of loss strips away the fake shine of celebrity life. It forces you to ask, what's real? What's worth anything? That's why Carrey doesn't buy into the circus anymore. He's seen how fragile it all is. Meanwhile, late night hosts are still out here cracking jokes about Trump's tan like that's the moral crisis of our time. It's pathetic. Carrey's perspective is what America actually needs. A reminder that life is short, freedom is fragile, and the distractions we're fed every night are just noise. Noise to keep us docile, while the real issues, the ones that actually affect whether our kids have a future, get ignored.
I sat on the lanai and looked out at the ocean, and at that point I started going, okay, well, what can I do with this last moment of time? And I just decided to go through a list of gratitudes, and honest to God, I could not stop thinking of wonderful things that have happened to me and blessings that I've had. So it was lovely. It was lovely, and I got to a point of grace at about 2 minutes to spare when I found out it wasn't actually happening. And all I was planning to do was close my eyes and be thankful, because it's been a good ride.
So let me ask you this, are we awake enough to hear what Jim Carrey was really saying, or are we just too comfortable hitting the laugh track while the house burns down? Because if we keep treating propaganda as comedy, distraction as truth, and applause as thinking, then guess what? The circus isn't the problem, we are, and that's the hardest pill to swallow. The real joke isn't on Carrey, and it isn't on Kimmel, it's on us, a supposedly free people trading awareness for entertainment and calling it being informed. That's not freedom, that's hypnosis with better lighting. But if you're done being hypnotized, if you're ready to look past the glitter and noise, then stick around. Hit like, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe, because this conversation, it doesn't stop here. And remember, the circus only survives if the audience keeps buying tickets. See you in the next one.